Hi, I'm Peter Sale. I'm past chair of the Watershed Council, and I was the person who chaired the subcommittee that wrote our report on climate change, which we produced in 2016. That report is available still on our website. It has a lot of information, and it is written for you, the public, to see it. So read it. It tells you lots of what's going on, and it has some important recommendations for us. Because the fact is, the climate change has already started, and it's going to continue. If your grandfather tells you stories about growing up in Muskoka when he had to trudge through 6-foot-high snowdrifts to and from school uphill both ways, he's probably only exaggerating about the hilliness, because the winters of his day are not the winters we have anymore. Climate change has already changed our climate. Work from the Dorset Environmental Science Center has shown that since 1975, our lakes have gained 3 weeks of open water season, because the period of time that the ice remains on the lake is that much shorter because of a warming climate. And that warmer climate means that those lakes are doing biological things for 3 weeks longer a year. They are getting warmer, they are having more evaporation from the surface, and those changes then feed down into changes in the biology of those lakes, the animals and the plants in those lakes, and what they're doing with their lives. And so there are changes that we are going to see in our lakes, and we're also going to see changes slowly in our forests, because the conditions that are suitable for the trees that currently live in Muskoka are going to be conditions that you find way up north in 50 years' time. And trees live a long time, so the trees that are living here are watching their climate go north, and they're going to suffer. And there are going to be new trees that come in from the south. And so our forests will change as well as our lakes. Now, the changes in climate are not going to make Muskoka unlivable. Some of them people will welcome. A longer summer with more time for fun in the sun and the kind of recreation that sustains our wonderful economy. But there are things that are going to happen that are going to be deleterious to the environment and to our lives. There are going to be changes in diseases that come in that don't occur at the moment because our winters are too cold. There are going to be changes in invasive species. There are going to be losses of species that currently belong here. There are going to be changes that affect us directly. More summer heat waves, more need for air conditioning than we have at the present time. A winter of far more freeze-thaw cycles, so that we're going to use probably more salt on our roads, and we've got to find ways of using that salt without damaging our environment. Now, this all sounds very pessimistic, and I don't want to be pessimistic, because there are opportunities for us to minimize some of the bad things, and to certainly work to make sure that things don't really get out of control in the distant future. So everyone in Muskoka should be supporting any government that is proposing efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We should be welcoming those kinds of things, because we should be doing our part to lower the risk of really extreme climate change. And we certainly should be encouraging investment in infrastructure that will be ready for the more severe flooding that is likely in the future, or monitoring programs that are going to be able to give us advanced warning of the increases in algal blooms, which we think are a real possibility. We're in a very unusual time. We're in a time which is unlike any other in human history, because we have started the world to change, and it is changing very rapidly. So climate change is important in Muskoka, just as it's important everywhere else in the world. We can do things to make the climate change far less serious than it might be, and we owe it to our children and our grandchildren to do that. And in the meantime, we can enjoy the fact that we have a wonderful environment. We've always been good at trying our best to take care of it. Here is an opportunity to try some new things that will take care of it in the future. Thanks.